Well, we're back, and it's not necessarily the podcast that you thought that you wanted, but it's the podcast that you need.
Oh, preach it, brother.
Every time that we come back, there's always some type of natural disaster that's going to happen. Last time we started, it was COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back, and it's going to be the bird flu. It's going to kill all of us.
It's the bird flu.
But I want you to understand, folks, that if you go back and look at our previous videos, that we were right about everything. It's scary.
It's almost like we could see the future.
It is. It is, because we were sitting there right in the middle of it, and I was thinking about this the other day. We were right in the middle of everything, and we were talking about stuff, and then I went back and watched the old videos, and we nailed it. We nailed everything.
We did.
I'm running out of conspiracy theories.
Well, they're not conspiracy
We need new
theories.
ones.
Yeah.
We need new ones
They're all
because
true stories
everything's
now.
coming true. So we are the Gospel Broalition. Pastor Lee here. Thank you for turning in. On my left, who's your hillbilly, Mike Paul, and MC JR Lonnie Robinson.
Yeah, he's got it. Oh,
Threw
wow.
in the
Threw it
Lonnie.
out there.
Oh, my gosh. Just threw it out there from the beginning.
Should have never told anybody that.
I guess you guys saw the new January the 6th video that came out.
Oh, you mean the one that's like 2 years old or
The one
whatever
that
that they've been
yeah.
hiding from us? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Let me ask you, what was your initial response?
Anger.
Was it
Yeah.
JR?
Well, especially when they show the cop running up and down the halls after he was supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was furious because I remember I was sending you guys a text like, you know what, the gloves are off now.
Yeah.
Because that was the biggest scam. I think in my lifetime, I can't think of anything else. Iran-Contra was pretty big during Reagan, but this is Watergate, of course, during Nixon. But this was something.
And then the White House comes out and says, don't trust the facts that Tucker Carlson tells you and is showing you. Don't trust the facts.
I don't believe anything that the government tells me.
And you got Schumer saying, don't let him on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Isn't
trying
that
to get
gross?
him banned.
Yeah.
And to me, the government could say the sun's going to rise tomorrow, and I'd be like, I don't believe you.
It probably wouldn't.
I would
Something
prepare.
would
I would
happen.
be prepared to
Yeah.
die because
Yeah.
I don't believe it's going to happen.
It would be a distraction from something else.
Hey,
Oh
but my
gosh.
question is, though, okay, so like the gentleman here,
Yeah.
supposedly in prison, okay? He was escorted in. He
Right.
was escorted around. They looked through different doors and whatnot trying to find this.
Right.
He gets in there. Then he says a prayer for the officers
Right.
that helped him get in. Is he really in a prison or is he in a vacation home somewhere?
I
know what I
don't know
mean?
if he's a useful idiot. That's
Because
what I'm thinking.
I mean,
it could be.
look
He
at
could
that.
have already been offed for all we know.
Was he really a conservative? Because what conservative would go to a rally dressed like that?
I don't know. I do dress like that sometimes when my wife and I want to get freaky.
Oh,
But other than
my.
that,
With the
that's
the
about
fur
it.
too, huh? That's nice.
I know. But only thing, there's tons of good videos out there. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. But I don't want to be too political because, well, I take that back. We're always political.
Too
But
late.
it's like, I'm not a Republican.
No.
I'm a conservative.
Yes.
I am a Reagan conservative. I am not. I could give you a list like 35 Republicans I can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I was thinking about during this entire watching this and all the reaction afterwards, I just wish there was one honest Democrat, one honest liberal who would come out and go, okay, something's not
This
right here.
changes things.
And that's what my frustration kept growing every single day. Something's not right here. Something's not right. And nobody on their side would come out and say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And they're just all like, oh, no, nothing to see here. Move right along. It's fine.
It destroys their narrative. So,
But, okay, Joe Biden got 11 million more votes than a Barack Obama. And they're like, yeah, sure. That's like,
It's believable.
Barack Obama's the most popular president I think we've ever had other than
yeah,
Reagan.
Absolutely.
And Biden destroys it with 11 million votes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that didn't happen. And then we've got the Capitol that comes up here. And they know that there's going to be a march on the Capitol, right? And they have 1,800 cops at their disposal, and they have 200 there. And all of them are eating donuts. And most of them look like that cop from Die Hard. Reginald Van Johnson or whatever.
One of the greatest cops in movie history.
One of the greatest
but,
cops in
you know,
movie
it's
history.
fine.
I don't think he played any other role because he was a cop in that.
He was a cop in Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. No other role. This guy's
yeah, he's always
typecast
been a
for
cop.
life.
Yeah.
So they're there. And so when all the protesters show up, they're just like, what are you guys doing here? They had no clue. And then you saw, like, after the the inauguration when they had the National Guard out there and they had all the barricades. They could have done something.
Oh, absolutely. But they didn't.
But they didn't do anything. You had like 2 lawn chairs with a strip of duct tape between them. That was the barricade.
Did you see the other video with him as they were? And I don't know where they were at exactly. They were at a door somewhere, one of the buildings, where he was checking his Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, Trump said, go home." You know, Trump said, "Let's not escalate this. Blah blah blah. Go home." And he's actually announcing to the people in front of him, "Hey, Trump's saying we need to end this. It's time to go home."
This guy did this?
Yes, this guy.
With the horns.
And it goes,
they had that on videotape?
They had it on videotape. I saw it. I don't know if I saw it on Timcast or one of them, but I saw it.
Right.
And he was telling everybody, go home. You know, Trump saying go home. What happened between there and them getting in the building? I don't know the timeline. I don't know if it was before. I assume it was before because Trump tweeted that way before anything hit the fan.
Right.
So
what about Ray Epps?
Yeah.
Ray Epps, that guy who's standing there and basically like
instigator.
Will Ferrell going down to the quad. Hey, everybody follow me. And he's like, let's go. Let's kill everybody in there. Come on, everybody. And everybody takes off. And he's like, turns around, goes the other way.
Yeah.
And Ray Epps is, living on his ranch somewhere.
Yeah.
He's not in jail for 4 years.
Oh, no. I'm sure
and he was
got nice
so
little pay.
inconspicuous with some of the videos. He's walking around going like this, like whispering in people's ears and stuff as he walks
I'm really
by.
a federal agent.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. And everybody behind him is going, Fed. It's like
Yeah.
they weren't that stupid or anything. And then they show the video of this Brian Setnick, who I'm probably getting his name wrong. That's the
that?
cop.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's the cop. So here he is. He's walking through the Capitol, supposedly a couple of hours after he's been bludgeoned to death. He's got a helmet on, which I guess if you've been bludgeoned, you probably would have put a helmet on.
Yes, you would think.
And one of the things people didn't talk about that video when they showed it was that he was not, do you notice what he was doing? He wasn't going, stop. He was going like a traffic cop. He's going, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going this way. Keep going. And where's a liberal who would just stop and say, something's wrong here. Something is weird here.
So the facts have been misconstrued somewhere.
Right. I don't care.
Is off.
I'm not a MAGA guy. Let's sit down. Let's have an honest conversation about this stuff. And there's not a single Democrat that says, you know what, we need to find out what happened here. Because January the 6th committee had this video.
Oh, that's the killer part. You know somebody saw this stuff.
Absolutely.
And they just, that doesn't fit. Push it off to the side. And let's push this other narrative in front of people.
And they took this poor guy, this Brian Setnick. They took him and they put him in the rotunda of the Capitol, which is reserved basically when presidents pass away. Put him in there, and they had the big fat Jelly Roll cops coming in, doing a salute and all that stuff, and everybody's boo. And I'm sorry for the guy. I'm sorry for his family.
Absolutely.
And he was a Trump supporter.
It's terrible that he passed. I mean,
I'll throw out another conspiracy theory. They killed him.
Well,
They killed who?
They killed Setnick
Were the Clintons
Setnick.
involved?
because he was going to come out and tell everybody what happened. He was like, they had cops afterwards committing suicide.
Mm-hmm. That's our fault too, though.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was our fault too. We stressed them out.
Oh my gosh, man!
Because the people walking through the Capitol taking like the brochures and stuff off the tables and
I
reading them, that
Taking
was so
selfies.
terrifying.
Oh my gosh! Stop it! I got PTSD from you doing that. And, Lee, don't diminish what they did there. Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
because
100%.
there's got soldiers going into battle with bullets whizzing over their head. You got a couple of grandmas coming from South Dakota, taking pictures, and they're going like, "You better stop!" And they remind me of that cop. If you've ever seen Vacation.
Yeah,
with Jim Candy,
you gotta stop.
Sorry, the pork's closed. And that's the way these guys are. And there were people out there who actually died, but the people who died were in the crowd.
Because these cops, you gotta think these cops are armed. Was anybody that broke into the Capitol armed? That broke into the Capitol? They had flagpoles. Okay,
they call him armed because he had flagpoles.
I've got a gun and you've got a flagpole. If I don't want you in my building, you're not getting in my building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I don't understand.
Well, they had a guy who was a Republican. He's part of the Lincoln Project, which is, oh my gosh, you talk about rhinos. And they basically he was on Bill Maher, who, by the way, has become, when Bill Maher starts making sense, the apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah, because he's as left as you can get, and he's starting to.
So this guy in the Lincoln Project said he should have been shot. Shoot him! And people in the crowd, yeah, shoot him. He's escorted into the building. Yeah, shoot him. What are they going to do? Escort him in there, but he's got his back to him, just pull out a gun, pop him right there? They're the ones that let him in.
Yeah.
Why did they let him in?
That's once again, there you go.
It's almost like they wanted them to come in.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and where is the liberal with any common sense who would just stop saying? I'm going to tell you 100%. If this was reversed, and if it was Antifa storming the Capitol,
they would have got their hands slapped.
Well, that
if that,
and if they had showed video of cops escorting Antifa through it,
I would have went.
I would have said, "What's
there's
wrong
a
here?"
problem.
And you know, and the media narrative was, "Oh, they came in and they killed all these cops and stuff," and you don't see any evidence of it whatsoever.
No,
I would question it. I have enough integrity to question it.
Yeah, and go, well, I don't like Antifa, but if they got escorted in a
to
building, if they were going to go loot one of the stores and the guy opened the door and let them in,
right,
and was, hey, you need to steal this because this is better,
and bagging their stuff for them and letting them out.
Okay, I'm going to say, well, that guy's an idiot. He deserved it.
And the media's like, oh, they came in and ransacked the stores. Like, no, they didn't. He let them walk in.
Yeah,
and he let them take whatever they wanted to take.
Yeah.
And so, but it was Tucker is a brave human being for doing this.
Can you imagine the death threats and everything?
He's been open about some of those stuff he's got.
Has he really?
Yeah.
They want to kill him because they got to suppress this because this was part of. And we survived it. Kudos to all the conservatives out there. It was part of the Great Reset. I think COVID and this was, part one, part two.
Really?
I think part of the Great Reset. They wanted to come out of COVID. They wanted to come out of this. And they wanted to just redo this new world order type stuff. And
they wanted anybody right of the middle to look like a bad guy.
Exactly.
They wanted us to be the bad guys.
And that's what they wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Folks, you don't understand this. They wanted to turn the narrative to all of a sudden we are all domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're liberal or conservative, that should bother you.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want somebody who has a different point of view be labeled as a domestic terrorist.
No.
And these people who did this, and there were some yahoos who did stuff. They ought to be arrested.
Yes. If you actually went in and vandalized anything, absolutely.
Right.
That's not right. But if you watch those videos, they walked in. Mm-hmm. They were let in, and they were
the leader respectful. Of Antifa. The leader of Antifa is in the front. They got a picture of this dude. He's in the front right there with the rest of the MAGA people.
So what in the world was he doing there?
What was he doing there?
I wonder.
What were the federal agents doing in the crowd?
Yeah.
We just want some answers.
Yeah.
And that's all we care about. But it just seems like they don't care about that stuff anymore.
They can't provide the answers because, once again, it doesn't fit their narrative if they give you the facts.
But the Democrats are funny. It's like one thing I will commend them for is that you don't disagree. They don't ever break ranks. Because, and it's funny because I have like a committee, and if one Democrat disagrees with another Democrat, then the next day that Democrat's not there.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah. Was that Gabby Tulsa,
yeah,
whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She came out and was like, I can't be part of this party anymore.
And the moment that they disagree, it's just like they become a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you, and you guys know this, we've talked about this before, there's no difference between the parties.
No, they're all bought and paid for.
It's one big party.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
And so don't deceive yourself. So I can honestly say I'm not, like at the very beginning, I'm not a Republican, so I don't have a horse in this race. Mm-mm. I just want to find out what happened. Absolutely. And I want to know the truth of what happened. Mm-hmm. And I don't want a political narrative. I just want, that's all that American people want to know. They want to know the truth.
And I don't want somebody held without trial for something that they didn't do.
Yeah, he had an idiot lawyer, by the way.
So I mean, if these people are truly innocent, why in the world are they in prison?
What I'm interested in is a few days ago, there was a raid on a police compound in Atlanta. You guys you didn't hear about that, did you?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Tim's been talking about that.
So they had actual a police training facility in Atlanta, Georgia. They had an actual raid of like 100, 200 Antifa types. And they went in there and they trashed the entire place and they arrested 23 of them. Let's see what kind of sentence they get. Antifa gets away with everything because if you and I go on there and we're going to go and we're going to raid and burn the police compound, they're going to kill us.
Absolutely. We're going to shot on scene.
Yeah, they're going to kill us. So, I don't know. I want to talk about something else. Let's move on to the next subject.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I'm tired of talking about it. If nobody's going to find any answers, then I'll just make up my own conspiracy theories and we'll just kind of go from there.
You know what happens when we make conspiracy theories?
Oh, they come true.
It's just like, do you think we'll ever hear the truth about that? You said you want to hear the truth. You want to see somebody come out with it, but will you ever, when they make a threat like,
if Trump gets in office, we'll get the truth. They don't want Trump to get in office because first thing he's going to do is going to pardon all the January the 6th people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And second thing he's going to do is start a committee because the Republicans can't do anything without Trump telling them it's okay to do it. And they're going to do another committee and they're going to find out what happened.
Yeah.
And I have a list of questions for them.
When they have the boldness to take somebody like Tucker and not just try to discredit what he says, but to make the plea that he shouldn't be allowed to do what he does.
That's crazy.
To take away his livelihood, to take away his platform, not just to say, oh, he's saying nonsense.
Right.
They have such power. I don't know if we'll ever hear the truth about a lot of these things.
No, probably not.
If there was ever a Republican who got on the floor of the Senate and said basically that Bill Maher needs to be taken off the air, I would disagree wholeheartedly.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
that too.
I might not agree with everything he says, but it is his right.
He has his right to say
have his opinion.
And Tucker has his right to say it. Tucker has the right to throw the video out there and say, you make up your own mind.
Yes.
And so when they show you, when they tell you that somebody's dead and you see that person walking through a Walmart 2 hours later, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
Why did they feel like they needed to lie?
And kudos to Elon Musk. He blew it up on Twitter.
He told them they should release this guy.
Yeah, he blew it up on Twitter, and he's been pushing it. So I might not agree with everything Elon does, but good job, Elon. Keep that up.
They're going to try to let it die.
Yep.
Don't let it die.
That's right.